Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates.
If I had some really tough decision, I'd talk to Warren.
If you get the best out of people around you, that's a rare talent.
I was just wondering, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given, and how has it impacted your personal or professional lives?
What did I tell you that impressed you the most?
When first I met Warren, we were talking about getting together and doing something again, and he pulled out his calendar, and the pages were so blank. And I said, wow, you know, you've managed to avoid getting tied into a lot of kind of meaningless activity. And you know, Warren said, yeah, you have to be good at saying no and picking the things that really make a difference. And that's one of many things I've learned from Warren, but that's one of my favorites, and so I can blame it on him whenever I'm turning things down.
Yeah, well, I told him that was it. The truth is, I don't get invited anyplace. That, you know, I got an awful lot of good advice from my dad, and he didn't lay it on me. I mean, he just, you know, you picked it up from him, but there was never any of this, you know, do this, do that type of thing at all. But I think he really taught me that it's more important in terms of what's on your inner scorecard than your outer scorecard. I mean, some people get in a position where they're thinking all of the time of what the world's going to think of this or that instead of what they themselves think about. And if your inner scorecard, if you're comfortable with that, I think you're going to have a pretty happy life. And I think the people that strive too much for the outer scorecard sometimes find that it's a little hollow when they get all through.
I'd like to know, we all consider you to be the financial business experts, and we look to you and follow your lead. But when you need advice and feedback about an idea or decision, I'd like to know, who do you go to?
Well, usually I look in the mirror. I mean, to be perfectly honest.
For me, probably the most important decisions I make are a lot like when I pick what technologies the company's going to bet on. Those are a bit like Warren's, where you really have to be willing to be contrary, to leave some things aside and to go into some places that aren't very hot. If you get outside of that technical realm, you know, I'm super lucky. I have Steve Ballmer, who's now CEO of Microsoft, and we're in each other's offices almost every day. He, you know, he's more of a business type thinker. I'm more of a technology type thinker, but we a little bit have learned what the other one's going to say over the years, so we can give each other a hard time about the positions we expect. Outside of that, if I had some really tough decision, I'd talk to my dad, I'd talk to Warren, I'd talk to my wife Melinda. So I have enough people that know me and actually know where my judgment isn't its strongest, where I might get overexcited about something or, you know, forget to think about something. And so they're good at correcting, particularly Melinda, good at correcting whatever those blind spots are. And I think it's good to encourage your friends and advisors to really give them that license. You know, I can go to a party and forget to say hello to various people or something. That's a very minor example of my blind spots.
Not to the hostess.
Melinda would help me do that.
Yeah, she would,
so,
yeah.
So, you know, a small number of people that you can turn to on certain key things is a great asset.
And incidentally, at Berkshire, Bill has an integrated business. We have this diverse group out there. But we have 40 managers, and I really encourage them to be doing the same thing. I mean, they run their businesses, and they know how to do it, and they're going to make some mistakes, but they basically make the calls, and they don't have to check with us. It's amazing how decentralized we are in that respect. But you know, we bet on brains, and we bet on people with energy and brains and integrity, and they're going to call most of them right, and I think we would lose an awful lot by having all kinds of layers of committees to review that they had to check with and that sort of thing.
I'm Caitlin Polcher. I'm an actuarial science major, and I'm a junior. And you both have several managers working under you, so I was wondering what are some steps that a new entrant into the job market can take to accelerate their journey towards an upper-level management position?
Yeah, well, one thing I will tell you that I didn't realize when I was getting out of school is how much the unusual person will jump out at you. I mean, you know, and it isn't because they got 200 IQs or anything like that. It's really because of just how they behave, you know, what they bring, the energy they bring, the commitment they bring, the quality of how they do things, how they treat the people around them, all kinds of things. But you will jump out much more than you might anticipate. One of the things you would want to be sure to do is, whether you like it or not, get very comfortable, it may take a while, with public speaking, for example. I mean, that's an asset that will last you 50 or 60 years, and it's a liability if you don't like doing it and are uncomfortable doing it, that also will last you 50 or 60 years, and it's a necessary skill. But a lot of the skills are just human skills. If you get the best out of people around you, that's a rare talent, and it doesn't correlate with IQ. It correlates with an attitude and toward the world and toward other people. And it's a talent that if you work at early and you're really conscious about it, you know, you don't have to show up other people. You know, you don't have to be smarter than they are or anything else. You want to bring out the best in them. It will pay huge dividends.
Certainly in the business Microsoft is in, the opportunity of an employee after they've been with the company, even say 3 years, people can start to rise. They can rise because they are good at strategy, and that's mostly writing things. They can rise because they're leaders of people. They can rise because they're an individual contributor. And we try to have career paths that are good for each of those things. The ideal person, to be frank, is somebody who's good at all three of those things. And as you get high up in the organization, the jobs really demand great individual thinking skills, being great with people and great with strategy. It's always stunning to me, given how many smart people there are, and in these individual buckets, there are quite a few people. But when you want that combination, it's rare. And I don't know why it is. It's possibly, if you're a good individual contributor, that you're given so much slack that you're never encouraged to reach out to other people and get their ideas. But the people who have that right combination, or if they're not good at one of those things, they partner up with someone and draw that missing piece out. Those are very rare. So whenever we're looking at top spots, you know, if we could find more people like that, it'd be a fantastic thing.